Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Core Union. And first, I want to talk about the shirt because I love it. And it just came in and I might live in it because it is everything. Let me get on to the subject here of manifesting your specific person or anything else that you feel deep down in your soul. Absolutely can have anything that you want in your reality. If it's deep down in your soul, you wouldn't be able to have the desire so deeply unless that already exists. Your desire always desires you. It's that simple. You are literally being magnetized towards it because it wants you and it exists. All of creation is already done. So, reading out of chapter 8, Faith, Freedom for All, Neville Goddard. How would you feel if you were that which you desired to be? Wear the mood, this feeling that would be yours if you were already that which you desired to be. And in a little while, you will be sealed in the belief that you are. Then, without effort, this invisible state will objectify itself. The invisible will be made visible. If you had the faith of a grain of mustard seed through the magical substance of feeling, seal yourself in the consciousness of being that which you desire to be. In this mental stillness, you would remain confident that you need no one to roll away the stone, for all the mountains, stones, inhabitants of earth are nothing in your sight. That which you now recognize to be true of yourself will do according to its nature among all the inhabitants of earth, and none can stay in its hand or say unto it, what doesn't thou? This conscious state, when properly sealed by faith, is a word of God. I am. The word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and he sent his word and healed him. I recently had one of my clients who I met with probably a little bit over 2 or 3 weeks ago. She emailed me and she was so excited because after 8 months, she finally heard back from her SP. While they were talking, she did end up opening up and she told him exactly how she felt. She did not hold anything back. She was being completely, authentically in her power. His response was that he wanted to see her and that he was glad that she finally shared that with him because otherwise he wouldn't have known. And while I know that everybody's circumstance is a little bit different with their SP, your situation and your experience when the unfolding happens might not be the same. It's still important that you remain in faith and in your new story. And the best way to do that is going to be super focused and disciplined and staying in the mood of being the version of you that is totally safe, secure, loved, adored, and cherished. Stability, security, love, harmony. So if you're doing the inner work and all you do is like you do the inner work, but you keep the old story of the negativity or the things that happened that went against this pure, sacred love, then you're doing a disservice to yourself and to God and to the love that you have with your person. You are simply doing a disservice because you're not applying the golden rule. You're not applying this of seeing your person in their highest and best light. You are keeping everything in the old story. And what we experience in our life is what we previously believed. So what's happening in the 3D is already solidified. It's already solidified matter. It is just the reflection. First, you have the cause of your thoughts and your beliefs, and they're fueled up with emotions. And then you have the reflection. So it's inner first and then outer, inner and then outer. Sometimes when we start to do the inner work, in your subconscious, you have a bunch of limiting beliefs, fears, worries, and the doubts of the things that happened growing up. As you started to just kind of live your life, you were being programmed because your subconscious is this amazing and incredible sponge that literally just takes everything in from childhood, growing up, then to going into school, and then hearing things in society, listening to music, watching movies, hearing other people's experiences. You're literally being formed by your environment. But it's not actually who you truly are. It's who you have believed you are through your five senses, because your subconscious is just pulling all of this data in. And now you have all of these beliefs about yourself, about life, about these kinds of people, those kinds of people, society in general, money, health, relationships of just friendships or romantic relationships, okay? You don't have to worry if you were pre-programmed with a bunch of crap All you have to do is deprogram, uninstall the programs and reprogram yourself. And you do that through repetition. So back to the bucket theory. If you have all of this gunk of all the stuff you don't want in your subconscious, imagine that your body is a bucket. There's the water, and then there's these unwanted things. And the unwanted things are a little heavier. It's a little denser. It's the stuff that you don't like. And that's like way down in the bottom of the bucket. When you start to do your inner work and you're in faith and in trust and you're just persisting and you're not triggering yourself by constantly doing all the things that we always talk about that just is going to kind of get in your own way. When you're constantly not messing with the middle, constantly not checking to see if everything is working because you know and you understand how all of this life actually works, when you're staying in faith and trust and you're persisting and you're believing in your soul, you're believing in your heart and soul, and you know that it's already done. You're feeling good. You're feeling strong. You're feeling empowered. You're feeling confident. And then so you're pouring all of your inner work. You're pouring all of this beautiful, clean and clear water into the bucket. You're pouring it in. You're pouring it in morning, noon, and night, pouring it in. And that water is rising up. And now there's all of the stuff from the bottom is actually coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. That's like when your fears, worries, and the doubts are coming up inside of you or in your 3D. And it's coming up and then it overflows. When this overflows, all of your subconscious worries, fears, and the doubts that are down, deep down in there, when it overflows because you've been feeding yourself all of the new story, all of what you actually deserve, you're trusting in it. When that overflows, the overflow is a trigger. The overflow is a worry, a fear, or a doubt, or the overflow might even be a circumstance into your reality. It's normal to react emotionally because you're human, but you want to catch yourself as fast as possible. When you don't catch yourself and when you are just stewing in this and ruminating it and dwelling in the old story again, you're back in your old story. You're back being your old self, afraid to love, afraid to let yourself be loved, afraid to let yourself have the money that you deserve, afraid to take chances, not allowing yourself to feel safe to be loved, not allowing yourself to have the money that you deserve, not accepting yourself, because it really is your conscious decision. It is a conscious choice and a decision to have whatever it is that you want in your reality. Whatever you feel deep down in your soul, it's already yours. And to allow it in, you have to make a conscious decision. This is who I am, and stay there. So when the overflow happens and your 3D circumstances are happening, when you're constantly reacting and you're constantly falling for the old story again, you are collecting all of that gunk and you're just keeping it with you. You're just keeping it with you. And when you stop doing your inner work and you stop reprogramming yourself, you stop pouring in all of the nice clear water, and then you just take all of the gunk again, all of the old story, and you just take it back in. You're staying attached to it. You're identifying with it. You're keeping it. That's why when you are experiencing the old story in your mind or in your 3D, that's when you want to really get very, very clear. Now, when you're manifesting your SP back, and you start to feel a lag of communication, don't fall for that. That is the old story. That's the little part of you that's still a little bit active with you. That little part of you just needs you to tell yourself you are safe, you're secure, you're completely and fully loved, you are a priority, okay, that you matter. That little part of you just needs you to tell yourself that. That's all. So don't just stuff your emotions down. Take care of yourself, cry if you need to cry and all that stuff. But now go back into, there's a lag of communication, and stop assigning meaning to it. Like, people can be busy. People might just be doing something. It doesn't mean that you're not a priority, but as soon as you start assigning the meaning from your wound that you're no longer a priority and you're triggered and you're not catching yourself, all you're doing is you're taking all of that stuff that overflowed, that stuff that was purging out of you, and you're just taking it and recollecting it back, and you're holding on to it. And now you are that version of you who's being abandoned, being rejected, and you're seeing also your person as not loving you, and not honoring you, not adoring you. You're not seeing them in their highest and best light. Okay. And then the other story I wanted to tell you, client, I just had a session with her yesterday, and I'm not going to share private details, but this was a really cute story. So we just had our first session. I'm not sure exactly when, let's say a month or a month and a half ago, doesn't really matter. She started doing the inner work that I gave her. And she literally said yesterday during our session, Kim, he contacted me out of the blue. And what basically the situation, I'm not going to go into the whole old story because it doesn't matter. They worked together, and there was a thing that she was perceiving as her not being the priority and all of this stuff and whatever. So anyway, they talked on the phone. He reached out. They talked for a good solid couple hours. He wasn't exactly being romantic. It wasn't exactly matching the inner work, but that is normal. That's what happens. But what he did say was that, you tend to push people away. And so we talked a little bit about that. But then she proceeded to tell me that he's been communicating more and more. He had bought tickets for or classes for her and him to do something for Christmas. Obviously, they had stopped communication. He asked her, "So what are you doing? Did you do anything with that?" And she said, "Yes, I signed up for it." And he said, "Well, I'd like to do it with you." He tried to sign up for it. He told her, I think he texted her or called her and said that the spaces were taken, so he wouldn't be able to do it. So she said, "Okay, I see that." So she focused in on that he was able to do the class with her. He ended up letting her know. Two people canceled, so he was able to have the class. And then he started teasing her. And now they're having all this loving, happy banter. It's growing. And he's pursuing her, and he's communicating more and more with her. And it's unfolding. And he even said things like, "You're going to have to dress me for this. You're going to have to do this. You're going to have to do that." Then at work, where he used to not even walk in the same room as her. Now he's actually going in while she's in the room, writing in her journal. And he says, "So what are you doing over there? What are you writing over there?" And she laughs, and he says, "Oh, it seems kind of juicy. I'm going to have to take it from you," or something like that. And she got all blush. She was blushing because she was writing about him. But anyway, so there could have been some more things, but super, super cute story. She is now in the unfolding of all of it. And now it's her job to remain in trust and in faith and in her end, and not to get sucked back into, excuse me, not to get sucked back into the 3D. Because when you start to get sucked back into the 3D, then you're not in your power anymore. And you might even stop seeing your person in the highest and best light. So it's really good to, yes, double down when movement is happening. You start doubling down and stay ahead of everything. The end that you want to be in, it will be unfolding and happening, but it will happen much quicker when you stop worrying about when it's going to happen. I hope that this video helps many of you guys. I believe, declare, and affirm that it has. It has shifted you guys. This is how you become the version of you with the version of your person. This is how you manifest everything you want in your reality. Be it, become it, embody that state, be in that mood, and enjoy it. And if you don't feel it yet, don't worry. You will when you are actually staying disciplined and focused. Okay? I love you so much. Have an amazing day. Comment down below that you are in complete 100% trust and in faith, that you know that everything that you want is manifesting right now. You are in the unfolding of it, and it is done. Affirm it however you want to affirm it below. And I will talk to you soon. I love you. Bye. Nothing can come, nothing can come, nothing can come between us.